Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, everybody. I'm super happy to have you back. This is TY's TV Corner, and we took a little hiatus. We took a little hiatus last week because Kim Rhodes came on the show. So when Kim Rhodes comes on, you gotta kind of push back, and you can't do your regularly scheduled programming because she was here. So I kind of skipped. I skipped our His Dark Materials review for that day. Whoops, wrong banner. Wrong banner. So I skipped His Dark Materials review that day, but that's okay because we're gonna do it now, and we're gonna have fun doing it. Not expecting a lot of people to be viewing at 4:30 on on a Wednesday, but we do have Quick Dip coming up a little bit later tonight with the boys, so that's going to be fun. However, I just wanted to do this right now. I was bored, so it's time. So what we're going to be doing today is we'll be reviewing episodes 5 and 6 for His Dark Materials season 2. If you haven't watched these 2 episodes or either one of them, this is not a show that you will want to be watching with me. Simply just because there's going to be some spoilers. So we don't want to spoil anything for anybody. We don't want to be those types of people. So if you haven't watched, please don't watch this yet. Come watch it after, and come check it out after, and then catch up with me. So so the last 2 episodes were either all in or all out. I can't really say that episode 5 really killed like in storyline or anything like that. It advanced the story, but it didn't slap, or I think as the kids call it. It wasn't the greatest thing on TV. However, episode 6, then we get talking. So let's start it off with episode 5. Ruth Wilson is undeniably formidable actress. And on His Dark Materials season 2, episode 5, The Scholar, there's a sense of like longing and frustration that works through Miss Coulter's scenes that give a window into the character's soul. There's no better snapshot than Coulter's encounter with Mary at the office, where she can see the accomplishment and freedom that comes with this world. Through the intricacies of equality, they're muddled still, but the sense of purpose that she notes when talking to Mary is palpable. The world Marissa knows is one of hardship and being torn down by the authority and the magisterium, where she considers herself an equal to their cause, but to them, she will always just be kind of another woman. They even say as much to Cardinal MacPhail during the council, tearing from Coulter, rather like from her rather large contribution. The realization for her is that this world exists alongside their own and could have awarded her every opportunity she has fought for, but with the praise and acknowledgement that she craves to boot. Her time in this new world essentially becomes both painful in that regard, but also a stark reminder of the shortcomings she will continue to face when she returns. The way she views her demon holds those same feelings, I think, as though she has a disdain for the reminder of where she comes from, which is a very interesting dynamic between her and her demon compared to the rest of that world and their demons. Whereas their demons are like, it's almost like a part of them, but she's always trying to push it away and have it not be a part of her. Boreal's collecting is nothing more than a nuance to her, and a nuisance, a hobby. When so much more could be done instead, Coulter sees opportunity, and it's ironic. It's an ironic stance when Boreal comments at the start of the episode that the whole world has turned to consumerism, something he kind of did himself, if you think about it. But the most telling moments of the episode, and the one where Ruth Wilson stands tall, is the final confrontation in the basement. The legwork has been done for Miss Coulter's conversation with Lee on his Dark Materials Season 2, Episode 3, where they speak of abuse and fighting through pain. Marissa rises through the blinding pain that Lyra is causing her demon. As it's something has likely done her whole life up to this point, it's in this moment where you realize that she is stronger than anyone possibly could have imagined. And she might be the most frightening villain the show has to offer through its whole run, which should be good. Because on the other side of that, pain and suffering, Miss Coulter is trying to use kindness to get what she wants. So, as all good villains do, they have a story that kind of follows them and makes sense. And from a viewer standpoint, you can see why they're doing what they're doing. If Miss Coulter doesn't, fit right into that criteria, I don't know who does. For the rest of the episode, Mary's growing presence and need to become the serpent is an exciting turn. At her first appearances felt like a way to move Lyra forward, but the fact that she's becoming more important in her own right is a solid turn of events, especially as Seaman Kirby is like a refreshing voice for the show. For Lyra and Will, a lot of their story revolves around preparation and confrontation. Both Boreal and Coulter use manipulation to try to win over their respective mental duels, one using cruelty and the other using kindness. Both fall for their ruses, let's be honest, but it's an intriguing moment for Will especially. Will knows that he can cut through anything, but chooses not to hurt Lord Boreal. The guilt of Angelica's brother and the other accidental death is still kind of fresh in his mind, and I don't think he wants to hurt someone again. Besides, Ariane Bakare is too great on the show to lose just yet. Wink, wink. Lyra's struggle with Marissa is definitely the growing pressure, where instinct tells her not to. But the allure of her mother is a tough thing to fight off, something she's wanted to for so long. That she turns to violence with her demon is both triumphant in terms of revenge for the events of the first season and dangerous, as it's something Miss Coulter knows all too well. And it's definitely something Lyra hasn't tapped into before. So that was interesting. Violence is a language a lot of these characters speak well in, but it's a dark path for Lyra to turn down. It's a path her mother has taken and cultivated and continues that spiral of history kind of repeating itself. Violence kind of leading to more violence, honestly. That's the great message of this episode. By the end of it, the morality of its characters, every one of them has done something they regret. And in this episode threatens the morality by pushing them to the far, far reaches of their edge. Will's voice of reason wakes Lyra from her violence, saving her from herself in a way. Miss Coulter's own morality may be at its end. It may still, be in need of redemption. She's done things this season that could be read as helpful to Lyra, especially when helping Lee escape. But then this episode sends a message that she still has nefarious plans ahead. That's what makes her so interesting. You don't know what is real and what is false. With the worlds between worlds gaining new visitors through Mary, Boreal, Miss Coulter, and likely the Magisterium to head there as the specters loom, the next two episodes seem to be like they're going to be full of danger. This episode, for me, I will give this episode probably a 6.9 out of 10. Again, it wasn't my favorite episode that His Dark Materials has produced yet, but it wasn't my least favorite either. It just didn't, I think it was very lackluster, and it was more about building the story than delivering it. So we'll see, we'll see more, slapstick episodes. We'll see more filler episodes. This wasn't really a filler episode rather than like a story advancer. And it did it in the most basic way possible. So on to episode 6, where so episode 6 was definitely the better of the two. Episode 6, I think, was one of the best in the entire 2-season run so far. So Seraphina and Queen Scotty begin episode 6 of His Dark Materials season 2, looking out at the darkened sky, marveling at the first seen angels in century. Passing by, with the worlds thrown apart, they realize Azrael may have recruited these creatures to his cause. If that's the case, it could cause serious problems going forward. Meanwhile, a delirious Will struggles with a fever thanks to the cut on his hand worsening. As Lyra heads outside to get him some water, the other boys and girls in Cittàgazze swarm their location and try to break in. Realizing that their time is up, an air raid siren pierces the tranquil air as Will and Lyra scramble up to the rooftop. As the kids surround the pair, Seraphina suddenly swoops down from above to protect them. She leads the pair out into the woods and examines Will's hand. It's not normal wound and needs magic to heal properly. While Seraphina begins forging the ingredients, Lyra talks about her knowledge of witches from the book she's used to read. Seraphina warns that Will's wounds run deep, and in order to properly heal, she wants to bring Will and Lyra back to the latter's world. Before that, though, Lyra asks the Alethiometer about Will's father. It turns out he's close, and actually near Cittàgazze. They continue walking, where Seraphina speaks to Lyra and exhibits her concerns over Will, questioning whether he's the right person to wield the knife. Lyra seems to think so, and after consulting with the Alethiometer, prepares to travel vertically. So this episode is critical. It's really, really critical because it is the penultimate episode. So what it does is it sets up the season finale, and what it does for the story is a penultimate is theoretically always usually the best in a series. And for that reason, like Game of Thrones, Supernatural, countless other shows use their penultimate episode as the knife, the twisting of the knife. It cuts deep. There's usually a heavy action, if any, in the storyline, and it's the one that usually takes place and is the final kind of push on, or there's usually a big revelation. Final episodes are usually used to tie up loose ends and to seal the deal on the season, to kind of wrap up all what the season had to offer. This one, again, did a great job. While Lee and Jopari fly towards Azrael's hole in the sky, Mary tries to decipher exactly where she is and what's going on. She obviously doesn't know about the specters, and the kids there pick up on this. Eventually, Angelica and Paola come out of hiding, and they introduce themselves to Mary. There, Mary finds out about the kids' struggle in Cittàgazze, and how the specters chase their adults and ran them out of town, and that the kids are kind of there fending for themselves. Obviously, I got the hiccups right now. Really? So it's there. She asks the two girls to tag along and go with her to find the other adults. Only they're not alone in Cittàgazze. Boreal and Miss Coulter both show up, but then the latter sees what the specters can do, and wonders how to use this to their benefit. Their time in Cittàgazze seems numbered, though, as low rumbling eventually paves way for the specters to show up. While Boreal cowers and hides inside, Miss Coulter steps forward to face the swirling black mass. They don't attack her, though, and it seems like she's learned how to control them. So Miss Coulter is literally controlling the specters, and it gets wild. Of course, Miss Coulter can control them, right? Whereas Azrael seems to have got the help of angels, Miss Coulter seems to have got the help of demons. Oh, man, these hiccups are going to kill me right now. Of course. Like, why Why right now do I have to get the hiccups? At the Magisterium, Father MacPhail receives word from Fra Pavel that Miss Coulter has gone to another world. He also echoes that Miss Coulter's question to the Alethiometer, who is Lyra? The answer, however, happens to be the person destined to bring about the downfall of the Magisterium itself. Determined to prevent destiny from occurring, Father MacPhail rallies the troops and prepares to go after Lyra. Meanwhile, Will learns about Lyra's prophecy from Seraphina. She urges him to protect her at all costs. They're not the only ones in Cittàgazze, though. Jopari and Lee both fly over and see the specters swarming through Cittàgazze. Even worse, the Magisterium airships appear on the horizon and set to attack. So the Magisterium has now given them the okay to pass through the anomaly and take on Will, Lyra, the witches, Lee, and everyone there. And they wouldn't previously do this because they really didn't want to believe that it was true, and they didn't want their citizens knowing about the anomaly because they want to stay in authority. So it turns out Miss Coulter suppressed what makes her human in order to control the specters. Boreal finds out that the pair sit and drink together. Only Boreal has left his guard down and unfortunately finds himself poisoned at the hands of Miss Coulter. After a brief struggle, he eventually dies. Strength is salvation, Miss Coulter says coldly to her demon, placing her hand over a flaming candle. And this is where we find out how really badass she is. Up in the sky, Jopari conjures forth a storm, trusting Lee's flying ability while plunging this world into darkness. Lightning crackles, taking out one of the airships, while bullets whiz through the air towards the balloon. In retaliation, Jopari manages to bring a whole swarm of Raven to take out the second airship. With one remaining, a well-placed shot to the balloon's gas canister causes Jopari and Lee to spiral out of control and look like they're about to crash pretty much. His Dark Materials delivers one of its best episodes this week. A slice of drama that brings more answers and all of our characters converging in the city of Cittàgazze, which is the city of angels. Given this world was built from the ground up, the production team have done an incredible job in bringing sense of history and wonder to this place. That's before mentioning the way all of our separate story threads have converged in this one spot. With Miss Coulter's game-changing ability to control the specters, this sets the stage for what should be a magnificent finale next week. Overall, this is easily one of the best fantasy series of 2020, and this episode scores a 9.0 out of 10. That is the largest score I've given an episode of His Dark Materials yet. And there's no reason that this episode doesn't deserve it, because this episode was truly, truly fantastic. Guys, my hiccups are really getting bad, and I gotta stop. I don't know where they came from. But that's okay, because we're going to be back tonight. Quick things. Yeah, but these two episodes, like, one was really Episode 6, fire. Just so you guys know, we are raising money for my mother's breast cancer. If you have like an extra couple dollars and you can donate, please. It means so much to me and the guys to get to be able to give this money to my mother. It donates directly into her account. So all the money raised goes right into her account, and she can help pay for chemo, her prescriptions, medical bills, kind of whatever it is that she wants to do with the money she can do with it. And it really does help her. Also, if you can follow us on all social media, that's wonderful. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, we're there. And we really appreciate it. We really appreciate all you guys always tuning in and always coming back to stay with us. We can't do this alone. We can't do this without you guys, because
Not us united.
Without us united, there is no show, and there is no show. And that's just the way it is. Like Grace Randolph says,
but it was weird.
It wasn't actually weird. I just wanted to play that clip because I think it's hilarious. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really did want to just get this one wrapped up. These hiccups came out of nowhere, and I'm gonna go throw my head against the wall in a second. But we will be back tonight for an episode of Quick Dip. We're gonna be kind of going over some Wonder Woman fan theories and stuff like that. So make sure to join in on that. It's gonna be a really fun time. And then Friday, as we've said, is our live Wonder Woman, our live Wonder Woman holiday special, live from Showcase Theaters, and it's gonna be amazing. So make sure you tune into that. As always, guys, my name's TY, and we do it for you. And we do it
for you, and we do it for the culture.